If you found this video today, it's because there's something you feel but can't explain. A constant sensation that something is very wrong, but when you try to talk about it, they say you're exaggerating. You're not imagining it. Your weight has changed without explanation. Your digestion has become a mess. You get bloated even eating normally. Your sleep is shallow and restless. Your patience has disappeared. Your clothes have gotten tight even without changing your diet. And the worst part, you keep asking yourself, what's wrong with me? If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, a conflictual partner, or someone emotionally unstable, let me tell you something they may have never told you. You're not crazy. Your body is speaking, and it's begging for you to listen. There's a devastating connection between living with a narcissist and the collapse of your physical health that few professionals dare to reveal. Your body develops real, measurable symptoms that you can't fake or ignore. It's not being dramatic. It's not exaggerating. It's your organism entering survival mode against a threat that your mind doesn't want to accept yet. God is sending you urgent warnings through every unexplained pain, every poorly slept night, every pound gained without reason. There are 7 specific signs that he uses to scream that you're being destroyed from the inside out. Wayne Dyer taught that when you change how you see things, things change. Today you're going to discover the 7 divine warnings that can save your life before it's too late. Because your body isn't betraying you. It's fighting desperately to save you from a force that's slowly killing you. There's a war happening inside you that few dare to speak about. It's not a battle you chose, but one that was declared against you the moment you allowed a narcissist to enter your life. And this war doesn't just happen in your mind, it happens in every cell of your body. Narcissists are specialists in a tactic I call gradual emotional poisoning. They don't destroy you all at once, that would be too obvious. Instead, they inject small doses of emotional poison every day. A subtle criticism here, an invalidation there, a punitive silence over there. Your body absorbs each of these doses and begins to react. What you need to understand is that God created your body with a perfect alarm system. When something threatens your peace, your dignity, your essence, your body triggers alerts. The problem is that we live in a society that taught us to ignore these alerts, to normalize them, to think that relationships are like this or that family is complicated. Wayne Dyer taught that you attract not what you want, but what you are. And if you're attracting narcissists, it might be that somewhere in your heart you believe you deserve to be treated this way. But I'm here to tell you that's a lie. A lie planted by someone who benefits from your destroyed self-esteem. The next warnings I'm going to share aren't just physical symptoms. They're divine messages, ways that God found to speak to you when your ears have closed to your own intuition. Every pain, every unexplained fatigue, every alteration in your body is a whisper from heaven saying, "Daughter, you deserve more." Before we continue, tell me quickly in the comments what city you're watching this from. I want to know how many brave warriors are spread across America facing this battle. Now let's go to the first warning that can change everything. The first sign that a narcissist is breaking you is when your body becomes a constant battlefield. You wake up sore without having exercised. Your jaw is always tense. Your back carries a weight you can't explain. Your belly is always bloated, even eating the same as you always ate. Let me explain what's happening. When you live with a narcissist, your nervous system never rests. It's like you're driving a car with your foot on the brake and accelerator at the same time. Your body doesn't know whether to flee, fight, or freeze, so it does all of this at the same time, every day. Chronic inflammation is your organism's first response to toxic emotional stress. Your body interprets emotional aggressions as real physical threats. When he yells at you, when he ignores you for days, when he makes you feel like you're crazy for having normal feelings, Your body releases the same hormones it would release if you were being chased by a predator. And the worst part is that narcissists know this. They know they can control you through fear, constant tension, the feeling that you're always walking on eggshells. They feed off your energy, and when your body is in constant alert state, you become vulnerable, tired, without strength to react. Wayne Dyer said that when you squeeze an orange juice comes out, not apple juice. What comes out of you when you're pressured? If pain, anger, confusion, and unexplained physical symptoms are coming out, it's because there's something toxic pressing you beyond your limit. Your bloated belly isn't being dramatic. Your constant headaches aren't normal. That tightness in your chest when you hear the key in the door shouldn't exist. God didn't create your body to live in constant state of war. Recognizing this first warning is fundamental because it validates what you already know deep in your heart. Something is very wrong, and it's not with you. It's with the situation you're inserted in. But there's more. The second warning is even more subtle and dangerous. The second warning that a narcissist is destroying you is when he steals something sacred: your sleep. Not just the hours of sleep, but the quality, the peace, the restorative rest that God planned to renew your strength. You lie down exhausted, but your mind doesn't stop. You keep replaying conversations, trying to understand what you said wrong, why he reacted that way, what you could have done differently. When you finally manage to sleep, you wake up several times during the night. Your dreams have become a horror movie of relationships, arguments, and conflicts. This happens because narcissists are emotional vampires who feed during the day and haunt you during the night. They plant seeds of doubt and anxiety that germinate exactly when you should be resting. It's a cruel but effective strategy. Keep you tired so you don't have energy to question, to leave, to think clearly. Wayne Dyer taught that you can't solve a problem with the same energy that created it. But how do you create new energy if you can't even sleep properly? How do you have mental clarity if your brain never rests? This is the diabolical trap of narcissistic abuse. It keeps you so exhausted that you can't see the way out. Sleep deprivation is a form of psychological torture recognized internationally. And that's exactly what you're living. It's not normal to wake up more tired than when you went to bed. It's not normal to have constant nightmares about arguments. It's not normal to feel that your room, which should be your sanctuary, has become an extension of the battlefield. God planned sleep as a time of healing, restoration, renewal. When this is stolen from you, it's because there's an evil force interfering with the divine plan for your life. Your body is alerting you that you're not safe, even in the moments that should be of greatest vulnerability and rest. If you recognize this pattern, know that you're not exaggerating. Your insomnia, your nightmares, your nightly agitation are real symptoms of a toxic environment. Your body is asking you to remove the source of stress from your life. But there are still more warnings you need to know. And the third one is devastating. The third warning that God is sending you comes directly from your stomach, the organ that the ancients considered the center of emotions. When a narcissist is breaking you, your digestive system is one of the first to collapse. You eat normally, but get bloated as if you had devoured an entire party. You develop food intolerances out of nowhere. Your intestine becomes a roller coaster between constipation and diarrhea. Constant nausea, especially when you know you're going to encounter this person. Your belly seems to have a life of its own, reacting even before your mind processes the danger. There's a scientific and spiritual explanation for this. Your intestine has more neurons than your spinal cord. That's why it's called the second brain. It processes emotions before you even realize what you're feeling. When there's a narcissist in your life, your gut becomes a lie detector for manipulations and toxic energies. It's as if God had placed an alarm system in your stomach that goes off every time you're in the presence of someone who isn't safe for you. That stomach-churning feeling when he comes home, It's your body saying, danger, this person doesn't come in peace. Wayne Dyer talked about trusting your intuition, and intuition speaks first through the body, not the mind. Your stomach knows the truth about this person before your heart accepts it. It rejects food because it rejects the toxic energy being served along with every meal. Narcissists destroy even the simplest moments of life, like a family meal. They create tension at the table, argue during meals, criticize what you prepared, transform a moment that should be of union into another battlefield. Your stomach absorbs all this negative energy and rebels. It's not a coincidence that you develop digestive problems when you're with this person. It's not being dramatic that your belly hurts when he's around. It's your body being wise, rejecting what's harmful to you. If you're dealing with unexplained digestive problems, stop and ask, when did this start? Was it when this person entered my life? Often the answer will shock you. Your stomach is begging you to cut the evil at its root, and the next warning confirms that the danger is real. The fourth warning that God sends you is when your mind, which used to be sharp as a blade, becomes a thick fog. You forget simple words in the middle of a conversation. You can't concentrate even to watch a movie. You make decisions that used to be obvious and now seem impossible. It's as if someone had stolen your mental clarity. This has a name. It's the brain under narcissistic attack. When you live being questioned, invalidated, having your version of facts constantly distorted, your brain enters survival mode. It spends so much energy trying to decipher the contradictions, manipulations, and mind games that there's no fuel left for normal cognitive functions. It's like trying to navigate in dense fog where you can't see even 6 feet ahead. You get lost in your own life, doubting your own perception, questioning if what you remember happening really happened. This isn't a sign that you're going crazy. It's a sign that someone is deliberately trying to confuse your mind. Narcissists are masters at what we call gaslighting, which is making you question your own mental sanity. They deny conversations you had, change the version of facts, make you feel like you have memory problems. Over time, you really develop memory problems. Not because you were born that way, but because your brain is being bombarded with contradictory information 24 hours a day. Wayne Dyer said that when you change your thoughts, you change your life. But what about when someone is actively trying to control and confuse your thoughts? How do you change anything if you can't even think straight? That's where the cruelty of narcissistic abuse lies. It attacks exactly your ability to reason and find solutions. Your mental confusion isn't deficiency, it's defense. Your brain is trying to protect you from toxic information by creating a fog barrier. It's as if it said, if I can't process all this craziness properly, at least I won't accept everything as truth. God gave you a brilliant mind, capable of discerning right from wrong, real from imaginary. When this capacity is compromised, it's because there's malicious external interference. Your clouded brain is an SOS asking you to get away from the source of confusion. If you recognize yourself in this description, know that your mind can be restored. But first you need to identify and remove the virus that's infecting your thoughts. And there's one more warning, even more visible, that everyone around you can notice. The fifth warning that God sends you appears in the mirror every day. Your physical appearance begins to reflect the emotional war you're living. Your hair, which used to be your crown of glory, starts falling out in handfuls in the shower. Your skin, which used to have life, is now dull, tired, aging before its time. You gain weight inexplicably, especially in your belly, as if your body were trying to create protective armor. It's not vanity to notice these changes. It's wisdom. When your natural beauty begins to wither for no apparent reason, it's because there's a vampiric energy sucking your vitality. Narcissists don't just drain your emotional energy. They literally drain your life force, and this shows up in your physical body. The chronic stress caused by emotional abuse releases cortisol at toxic levels. This stress hormone, when constantly elevated, destroys the collagen in your skin, weakens hair follicles, dysregulates your metabolism, and makes your body store fat as if you were going through a time of scarcity, which emotionally is exactly what's happening. Wayne Dyer taught that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. When your spirit is being attacked, this manifests in your human experience, including your physical appearance. It's not superficial to care about your image. It's an act of spiritual resistance against whoever is trying to extinguish your light. Have you ever noticed how some people drain your energy just by looking at them? How you feel uglier, more tired, older after spending time with certain people? This isn't coincidence. Some human beings function like emotional black holes, absorbing all light and beauty around them. The cruelest part is that narcissists usually attack your appearance precisely when you're most vulnerable. They make comments about your weight, your skin, your hair, not to help but to further undermine your self-esteem. It's a calculated strategy. The worse you feel about yourself, the less likely you are to seek someone better. God created you to radiate beauty from the inside out. When this radiance is being extinguished, it's because there's a force of darkness interfering with the divine plan for your life. Your deteriorated appearance is a cry for help from your inner being asking to be freed. If you look in the mirror and no longer recognize the radiant woman you used to be, don't accept this as normal. Accept it as an urgent warning that it's time to protect your essence. But there's an even more alarming warning that affects your ability to defend yourself. The sixth warning that God sends you is when your immune system completely lowers its guard. You get sick constantly. Flu that lasts weeks, infections that keep coming back, wounds that take forever to heal. It's as if your body had given up fighting external invaders because it's spending all its energy fighting the emotional invader in your life. There's a deep connection between your immune system and your emotional well-being. When you live in constant toxic stress, your body prioritizes emotional survival and abandons other defenses. It's like a country at war that pulls soldiers from the border to defend the capital. It leaves everything vulnerable. Narcissists are like emotional viruses that infect all aspects of your life. They weaken your natural defenses through constant manipulation, chronic stress, sleep deprivation, endless conflicts. Your body, trying to deal with this emotional invasion, sacrifices its ability to defend against physical invasions. It's not coincidence that you got sick right after that terrible argument. It's not bad luck that you develop infections when the tension at home is unbearable. It's not genetics that your body seems to always be broken after this person entered your life. It's cause and consequence. Wayne Dyer talked about the importance of maintaining your vibration elevated to attract good things. But it's impossible to maintain elevated vibration when someone is constantly pulling you down. Your low immunity is a reflection of low energy, of a depressed spirit, of a soul tired of fighting. The most perverse thing is that narcissists usually minimize your illnesses. You're always sick. It's being dramatic. It's psychological. They use your physical fragility as another weapon against you, more proof that you're problematic or weak. But the truth is that your fragility is a direct consequence of their toxicity. God designed your body to be a fortress, capable of defending and regenerating itself naturally. When this fortress is constantly under attack, the walls begin to crumble. Your low immunity is a sign that you urgently need peace, security, an environment that allows your recovery. If you're always sick, always tired, always needing medication, stop and ask, when did this start? What changed in my life? Often you'll discover that your health deteriorated exactly when a certain person gained access to your life. Your body is begging you to remove the source of emotional infection, and there's one last warning that confirms it's time to act. The seventh and most devastating warning that God sends you is when you lose connection with yourself. You no longer know what you like, what you want, who you are. It's as if someone had erased your personality and left only an empty shell trying to please, survive, not bother. You lose pleasure in things that used to make you happy. You can no longer hear your intuition because there's so much external noise that your inner voice has been silenced. You make decisions based on what he'll think, not on what you feel. Your life becomes a constant performance for someone who's never satisfied. This is the final goal of narcissistic abuse, to erase who you are, to mold you into what they need you to be. It's like taking a vibrant flower and pulling off petal by petal until only the stem remains. You're still alive, but your essence has been shattered. Wayne Dyer taught that your purpose isn't to be perfect for other people, but to be authentic to yourself. But how do you be authentic when you don't even remember who you authentically are? How do you follow your heart when it's been gagged for so long that it forgot how to beat in the right rhythm? The loss of your identity is the most urgent warning because it means you're disappearing. Not physically, but spiritually. You're becoming an extension of his need, a satellite orbiting around his ego, losing your own orbit. God created you unique, unrepeatable, with specific gifts, dreams, and purposes. When someone is systematically erasing this uniqueness, they're committing a crime against divine creation. Your lost soul is more than a warning. It's a spiritual emergency cry. If you've reached this point where you no longer recognize yourself, where your own voice has become an echo of his voice, know that there's still time to find yourself again. Your essence hasn't been destroyed, just buried under layers of manipulation and control. Recognizing these 7 warnings is the first step toward freedom. Your body has been your ally in this war, trying to wake you up to a reality that your mind was programmed to deny. Now that you know how to recognize the signs, you need to know what to do with them. And that's exactly what we're going to discover now. Now that you've recognized the warnings that God has been sending you through your own body, it's time to act. Not with desperation or haste, but with the wisdom and determination of someone who finally understood that you deserve peace, health, and dignity. The first step is to stop questioning your own perception. Your body doesn't lie, your symptoms are real, your pain is valid, you're not exaggerating, you're not being dramatic, you're not crazy. You're being wise by listening to the warnings that your Creator placed inside you to protect you. The second step is to begin nurturing your body back to health. It's not just about medications or diets. It's about creating an internal and external environment that allows your regeneration. This might mean establishing firm boundaries, seeking professional help, or even removing toxic people from your life. Wayne Dyer reminded us that you can't change other people. You can only change how you react to them. And sometimes, the wisest reaction is strategic withdrawal. It's not cowardice, it's self-preservation. It's not selfishness, it's wisdom. The third step is reconnecting with your original identity. Who were you before this person appeared? What made you smile? What were your dreams? This woman still exists inside you, just asleep. It's time to wake her up. Remember, God didn't give you a spirit of cowardice, but of power, love, and sound mind. You have within you everything you need to rebuild yourself, reconnect, and start over. Your body that today screams in pain can return to radiating health and vitality. If you made it this far, it's because something inside you still fights, still believes, still hopes. Honor that spark of hope. It's divine, and it's your compass back home, to the home that is yourself. Your bodily warnings aren't your sentence. They're your invitation to freedom. Use them as the map they are. Clear directions from God showing exactly what you need to get away from and where you need to walk toward. You deserve a body that vibrates with health, a mind that thinks clearly, a heart that beats in peace. And all of this is possible when you remove what's poisoning your life and embrace what will nourish your soul. Your journey back to yourself begins now.